Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Drew Portnoy. Bulkney.
Well, Portnoy's my stage name. Bulkley is my real name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how should I have introduced you?
Just do Drew Portnoy.
Drew Portnoy.
Sure.
Okay. I did that and then I was worried that I was neglecting.
It's Facebook. Everybody sees my real name on Facebook and it confuses them.
Yeah.
And it confuses me.
Why do you...
It's a stupid story. When I started doing comedy, I used to do political commentary for a German news channel. And one of the editors, like, we were standing on the set, and he's like, I said, oh, I got a gig tonight. He's like, you do comedy? You can't do journalism and comedy. How's that gonna look for our news station? So I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to give up either one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the only way is to come up with a stage name.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a month later, that news station went bankrupt. But I'd already, like, won a contest, so I couldn't change my stage name.
That's hilarious.
And then I was actually going to start using my real name, and then Corona hit, and now it's just like...
Okay.
It's too much effort.
It's too much effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you've gone down a path, like, why undo it? I don't know, but names are an interesting topic, I think. A very interesting topic. Did you listen to the episode with Shahak? At the Podfest episode? No. The episode's called More Anal Than Expected.
I saw that, yeah. I was like, no, that describes my German experience.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Describes a lot of my adult years. So we basically, our friendship broke down because of lots of things, but the tip of the iceberg, that's the wrong expression. The straw that broke the camel's back was me not pronouncing his surname correctly.
Shahak?
Shapira.
So? Really?
Yeah. And we had been hanging out a lot and spent a lot of time together, produced shows together, traveled together. And I've said his name a million times. And then we did the Podfest. And as we were doing the sound check, I said his name and he's like, no, you're not saying it right. And I tried again and he said it how it should be. And I tried. And it's like this kind of like this, the Hebrew ra. But it's not like a French ra, and it's like you can't basically I kept on trying and I couldn't get it, and I was like I'm trying, and he was getting really angry at me about it. And then that was the sound check.
Was he just hungry? Like...
Yes, he's always hungry.
Yeah. But people do that where they like, because I also do TV production, and then like some people will be like, yeah, but they mispronounce it, and then they'll say it like how, and I'm like, that's exactly how he said it.
Right.
And then I'm like, I feel like I'm missing brain cells or something because I'm like,
No, but I think it's also like people hear things in their head, and I don't know, like the number of times you probably have it in German, someone will correct your German pronunciation, and you're like, that's what I said. Yeah,
that's basically, you're just being, that's what I mean, like he was just being mean.
Yeah. Yeah. You want me to say it with exactly your tone, like your exact, do you want me to say it like, oh, one of my kids that I look after, both the kids that I look after, they constantly correct me on the word noodle. They're like, you're saying noodle, and I'm like, no, I'm saying noodle. Noodle, but it's like I have to like really underpronounce the u. Noodle.
I mean, well, a little kid, like you can understand little kids because they think that the world is black and white. They have no.
Why are kids? I was wondering if I haven't had enough exposure to English speaking children. I feel like it's just that I associate it with German, but like are all kids always wanting to be accurate and correct? Like they have to know the thing.
You know, I thought this the other day. They are autistic by definition. Their brains aren't fixed yet. They're not done yet.
Right? They're not
so done. That's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like that. They're all
kids just want to be the correct. Like they want to. No, it's like they're nitpickers.
Yeah. Well, because they get nitpicked all the time. That's their job.
Yeah.
So they're going to give it back to you.
Yeah, but like, let's have fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's so tiring.
No, I think they just think that the world is black and white and there's right and wrong and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're obviously not doing it right.
Where do we give them this idea, or that's their like unbaked?
Their brains aren't
perception.
done yet. They don't. There's no like. That's. I was gonna make a joke about you mispronouncing Shahak Sabir's his last name incorrectly because you don't have the same experiences he's had. Like,
yeah,
you know, you weren't on. You didn't have to move to Germany. Well, you didn't have to move. You didn't move. But you know, like you don't have the same life experiences, so you're not going to be able to pronounce it the same way. Kids have no life experiences yet. They don't know about gray yet. They just think it's black and white.
Yeah.
Also, they suck.
Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them, but they can suck so bad.
Hardcore. Now I have teenagers who like that thing, the correcting you, they do it with adult words and sentences.
Like, oh yeah, so they're real pricks.
Yeah, like this morning, like I told my son, like, you know, they have to do some chores every week because they have to do some chores every week. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you need to clean. You need to go vacuum downstairs. He's like, yeah, but you need to clean the bathroom.
I totally said that as a kid too.
Oh my god! And you don't like. I've grown into it now where like I no longer. I know I still think about murder. Like I'm like, I'm just gonna throw you off the balcony, man.
I was just in Tenerife. Can you tell I'm tanned?
So yeah.
I think like red.
But that's what it is.
Red, yeah.
I thought it was the hangover.
I'm just like, I've got like an alcohol glow of redness.
Yeah.
No, I got very burnt. I was quite ashamed because I was like, I'm from Australia. I shouldn't look like a British tourist.
Yeah.
But I was there and I stayed with my best friend my Scottish best friend who's got a boyfriend, and they just had a baby, and they were there with their 4-month newborn. And like, yeah, as soon as I landed and they picked me up, we went to a restaurant, and like one of the first things that Jill said about the baby, she's like, Tommy, can you like walk her? And she's like, and just throw her off the balcony.
I feel like babies disprove evolution because how did like I have a college education and I hated them. How did like Neanderthals not just want to just kill just be like, this one's broken, throw it out, let's make another one. That one's broken, and then just be like, let's just be a childless couple.
Yeah, let's just not perpetuate the race, not the race, the species.
The
race.
Well, in fact, the Neanderthals eventually did die, but
yeah.
So maybe they were smarter than we are.
Maybe they were.
Maybe it worked.
Fuck, just like, I don't know, but the thing is, like, mothers are the reason why, right?
No, that's the total answer. That is the 100%.
Mothers are the reason why humanity continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should treat you guys a lot better. You know?
Look, I don't know. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I was thinking today, what kind of adults only stuff. You've got some material on your wife's menopause.
So.
And I've got a little bit in I've got a bit where I talk about menopause briefly. And when I started talking about menopause, I added this whole part, like a bit in the bit, to explain what menopause is, because so many men don't know what menopause is.
No, I think even when I tell that bit, like, do you have those bits you do for yourself? You're like, I don't really
Yes.
care whether people, I'm doing this because
Yes.
That's one of those. And I think like maybe I need to explain to people a little bit more. I knew what menopause was, but I honestly did not realize it meant that we don't have to use contraception anymore.
You didn't that's so cute.
It's so, but I mean, it was one of those things where my wife tells me it, I'm elated, and I'm like, man, I really am stupid. I really am dumb.
You're not as dumb as me, who like acts like I'm in menopause.
So
No, I refuse to use hormonal treatment anymore.
I think that's I never got guys who like I don't want to use a condom, because I was always like, you know what, our goal as men, I thought, was to just get naked with women. So if you've reached that point, if the only thing left is a little bit of rubber, who cares? You've crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
And I know it's a power thing and all that.
A power thing? Expand.
No, it's like a thing of like, if a woman says, hey, please wear a condom, and the man's like, no, I am the man here. I am the one making the decisions.
Oh, I've never experienced that
So
before.
I know several comedians that actually do that. And it's like,
And
then
they
it's
refuse a condom.
Yeah, just out of power of like, no, you don't tell me what. And then, I mean, I know the whole thing
Then
of like,
you don't go inside me.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. Like, you're there, man. You won. Why are you coming up with this fake? And even if it isn't, even if it's like 70% of what it normally is, that's still 70% of greatness, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I ask, but then I'm not very good at like making it happen.
I mean, I think that I have more. I just don't get the whole thing of like, then it's not happening. Like, if I have to wear a condom, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's the thing is though. I think maybe those men. It's like, if I have to wear a condom, then it's not going to happen because my penis can't handle the condom.
Do you believe that?
I have seen some men really struggle with the condom thing.
All right. I mean,
like, I'm not excusing it, but they basically go soft immediately, and then like,
I've always seen that. So that's a perfect opportunity for your partner to now touch your penis.
It is.
That's what I've always thought. Like, this is a bonus thing because now she's gonna spend some time with it. You know?
It's a bonus.
Yeah, I always thought it was like, that's how I saw it.
It's like the reward for using a condom is the extra attention the penis gets in order for the condom to be able to go on.
Yeah, now we're up to 90%. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never got it. Like, I never...
Yeah, or there are some people who have really small penises, and the condom really doesn't help
So,
that.
I didn't... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I do not have that problem.
That's amazing, Drew. I'm really
Yeah.
happy for you. But I don't know. I just can't imagine. That's just not. I'm not excusing these men that refuse to wear condoms, but it's just like with what I just said. But yeah, going back, I'm just shocked that a man would ever be like, I choose. It's like, no, you don't choose. You're putting something inside me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like, can I just put my dirty shoe in your butthole? Like,
No, those guys would say no, actually. Yeah. They would say absolutely not. I would consider it.
Yeah,
you know, I'd be
right?
like, I can
Fair's
take a
fair.
shower afterward. No, there's one German comedian who now is a right-wing comedian and will never get booked again.
oh, I know this person.
And I stood there backstage with him talking to this other kid about how, like, he hooks up with all these women, he refuses to wear a condom, and then he keeps getting venereal diseases.
Really?
And he said because of these sluts, these filthy sluts. And I was like, bro, there is a huge hole in your logic right there.
Oh my God.
Massive hole in your logic. And I couldn't, but I just did the thing and then, a month later, you turn this right-wing asshole, so.
This guy gets worse and worse. I didn't know that he had this whole, because he has spoken like not AFD. Not AFD. He's okay.
No, definitely on the, yeah.
Like towards the Nazi.
What's the problem is it's that spiritual yoga teacher. It's that weird gray area where those hardcore left-wing people slide over to the right wing.
It's the whole conspiracy theory people.
Yeah.
It's like you're either far left or far right,
Yeah.
and you've gone the whole way around and met.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah, and he's part of that, and the fact that he doesn't. Oh God, what a piece of shit! Like I once took the time out to explain to this comedian at a show, why he had been blacklisted from certain comedy venues.
Yeah.
And he was very angry about why he wasn't getting spots and he wasn't able to perform at these things. And he was like, they just blacklisted me. They didn't explain why, or they said, he's like, oh, it's because I hit on a female comedian host at a show. And I was like, that's not okay. He's like, why not? And I was like, dude, we're at a place of work. And he's like, what? We're at a bar. I'm like, no, no, you're in the workplace and women have to, and we're exposed to so much unwanted attention anyway at work when, your colleagues shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
their space. And he was like,
Yeah, but he was only saying that because he was trying to get you in bed, man, It's like he was just like, oh, here's my opportunity.
That's maybe true. But he really did. He did listen and he was like, fuck, yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry that no one's ever explained it to you, but like there's so many guys that go into comedy that have had no education in gender politics or like just, what it is to be a woman or any kind of like political awareness, like genuine education in kind of the humanities realm. I think.
But even I was surprised. I went on tour with Caroline. I went on tour with Caroline Clifford once, and I was surprised at the level of shit she has to put up with every night after a gig. Every time after the gig, there's some guy standing there who says, I don't actually think women are funny, but you're funny.
Dude, yeah.
Every night. Like the first night, I'm like, okay, we've heard about these men. The next night, I'm like, you are joking.
Yeah.
And and then the third night, and then
it's insane. It's funny. A new female comedian on the scene was asking me about it. She's like, have you had men say that to you? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, does it get you angry? I'm like, it used to get me really angry, but now I used to really get upset by it, and now I'm just like, it's just the most ridiculous thing. I can't.
Yeah. I was sorry. I can espouse all my philosophies here. I don't get men who are like, I don't want to watch female comedians because I think like as a man, it's so nice to watch a woman. Like you could just look at her. Now you're allowed to look at her and not feel creepy for an hour. I'm
not sure if you're selling this on the right angle.
But then I
get to objectify a woman.
I get to objectify a woman for an hour. And also I get to listen to her tell interesting stories about her life and give me insight into her life.
Yes.
And I get to laugh.
Yes.
Like it's a win. Once it's a win-win again. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna just cancel that out because you want to make some blanket statement that's not true.
Yeah. I There's another side to it. Like, I do understand when people want to watch, like, I think if you're black, you probably want to watch, you tend to watch more black comedians. Or if you're a woman, you tend to watch more female comedians because you relate to it more and they really speak your truth. And so, like, for example, I tend to watch far fewer male comedians in my spare time because it's like, it's not as, I want to see the female perspective because that's what speaks to me. But not watching a female comedian. That's insane.
Just because she's female, yeah. Like, I mean, that's what I like about comedy is you get to see inside these people's lives. That's why, like, I mean, I do watch mostly white male comedians. I'll give you that. And I've been around, like, don't listen to another white male comedian. But then also, like, I like listening to female comedians and everybody just because you get to see what their life is like.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. And I mean, it's even like that thing with Caroline. Like, I had heard female comedians make jokes about this, and I thought, oh, they're exaggerating because it's a nice joke. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just, and I mean, and so then now every time when like you hear a person of color saying this is how I was treated, I think like, yep, definitely. And it's worse than even you're presenting it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think if you deal with that level of stuff, you kind of just, it's like, it doesn't anger me when people say that anymore. Like, I don't even get angry anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
that women are not funny. It's like, it's just absurd. Like, I just can't.
When they think that's like their opening line. That's like how they're trying to pick Caroline up. Can I punch you in the face and then we'll get a drink?
What does still get me very angry is when people come up and make suggestions about my jokes.
Ugh.
Or be like, hey, I've got a bit for you. And it's like, stand-up is so personal. Like, how could you give me anything? Like, and also, like, why do you think you could write anything for me ever? Like, what do you...
I always just think that it's like they're trying to be... They've identified with you and they're trying to be nice to you. So I always go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I never get angry at them. I'm always just... But I always think... I always quit. And I don't like this mentality. But I often do go, is it because I'm a woman that they're doing that? And do I get that more because I'm a woman?
I think, I mean, I get it too. And
yeah,
the thing is, it's always so wrong. It's always so in the wrong direction.
Yes.
That's what I'm always like, you are so, like, maybe somebody might have a good idea once. Yeah. But it's always so, and I'm like, dude, that is not a direction I would ever go in.
Exactly. Because they don't know you. They don't, seen a, even like an hour set, they're still not really going to know you. And yeah.
My wife had this thing for a while because Americans love to, like, after a show, they're like, that was great. Can I do a shot with you?
Oh, yes.
And I'm always like, well, I kind of know the bar and I can drink for free, so you don't really have to. And one time my wife was like, you have to stop doing that. People want to do something good for you.
Yeah.
So just let them. So I'm like, all right. So of course,
I love your wife. Your wife's so
she's
great.
good, man. Yeah, that's like, I got lucky. I got dumb lucky. When I married her, I did not know how lucky. I was just kind of like, let's get married.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I liked her. I just didn't know. Well, how can you know?
Of course, but
yeah.
But you didn't know how great this decision was.
Yeah. I had no idea. Yeah.
Why did you want to get married? Taxes or?
No, the whole long, lengthy story going back to contraception. It's weird how it all ties together.
Great.
Yeah, my mother told my brother and I, you guys will probably never have children because all the men in your family are infertile.
I love your mother.
With my brother and I standing there as living proof that not all the men in our family are infertile, my mom was insane. And so I was like, oh, and it's true. My uncles are both infertile. Like, that's true.
Wow. Okay.
But, my brother and I are standing there and we are obviously the offspring of the one man in this collection.
Mm-hmm.
But so my mom told, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably infertile. And then like you, when I was back in my promiscuous days, things were not always.
No.
Didn't. And so, and I always thought like, and that just reinforced it. I'm like, yeah, just like my mom said, I'm infertile.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So then I met Sabina and I was like, I kind of like her. And so what I thought we'll do is, she's like, oh, we could maybe try to have kids. I was like, oh, I don't know. And then we got drunk. So of course we're going to try to have kids. And my planning was, I thought, so we'll do this for like 6 months. And then we'll decide if we really like each other. And then we can like get married. And then we can go to a fertility doctor and figure the whole thing out. That was my big plan.
Hold on. So you wanted to, for 6 months, fuck without contraception?
Yeah.
To see if you like each other?
Yeah.
And you were just sure that you were infertile?
Not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of these 6 months, either we decide we really like each other and get married, or we're out and either way I don't have kids. Of course, that night, we got pregnant. Of course, like right away. Like,
how old were you guys when you met?
I was like 30, I think.
30, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and so then...
That's young to decide well, maybe not.
No, I was kind of... The other thing is, like, I moved to Berlin, and I guess this happens to everybody. Like, at some point, I was like, I am not sleeping with another woman under 28. Because it was like you would sleep with them, you're like, oh, this is kind of nice, this could turn into something, and then you would never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And I was so sick of it. I was just like, oh, I mean, sex was great, but after a while, you're like, yeah, it'd be nice to have coffee with somebody.
Yeah.
So, and then it was kind of
This is really ringing.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Right,
I was just like, that was why when you were talking about 25-year-olds earlier, I was like, yeah. So I was just like, so I met her, and she was 30, and then like it just was working out. So then she got pregnant, and then in Germany, the thing is, if you have kids and you're not married, the father has to go down to the city hall.
This is what my best friend had to do.
Yeah, and say like and apparently they sit there and go, you probably don't want to officially say you're their father. That's only bad. That's only has disadvantages for you as a man. You probably don't want to do it. And
What?
Yeah, because they say like if you don't claim fatherhood, then you can basically walk away. But as soon as you say I'm their father, now you're responsible for these kids for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Like
they read out the whole thing. Like it's a whole process in Germany. This claiming fatherhood.
So that's why I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna go down to tell some bureaucrat these are my kids. I'm like, we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that because these are my kids. Like, there's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is that. And I know it's symbolic, and but I'm like, I'm not doing that. When the kid comes out of your vagina, it's half mine. Like, it's ours.
Yeah.
So I was like, so let's get married. And then, I mean, and that also was like, oh, we'll do the official marriage, and then we'll do the big wedding later on at some point.
Did you do the big wedding later on?
Yeah, and I wish we had. I hate big weddings.
Yeah. How big was it?
And it cost me 10,000 euros. That's all I remember. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, it was like dinner in a nice place, and
How many people?
I think 60. I think we had 60.
That's reasonable. I had for my wedding. There were 60 people there, but we did it El Cheapo. It was invited everyone, had a party, but it was like if you want to eat, you go and order at the bar.
No, we had like and even the musicians were like, oh, can we have dinner? I'm like, of course, just tell me what dinner.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so then you got married.
Yeah, so when we got married 3 days before our daughter was born, like, because it takes a while in Germany to get the paperwork together.
Yeah.
So she's just like huge,
massive.
Yeah.
3 days before. Have you got photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's beautiful.
And then like that day was magical. That was a great day. But then like the big wedding day was just a hassle. Like,
yeah, no, it's just stressful.
Yeah,
it's really stressful. I don't get it. Yeah, I'm not I like a party, but it needs to be stress free.
Yeah, well, and so I say to my kids, I'm like, if you want, like, just go get married. If you want to invite your mother and I will come.
Yeah.
Don't. And then I also say, but if you want a big wedding, I mean, because they, if I'll support it, like.
Yeah.
But I'll be grumpy. No, I'm not. No. I just don't want. I don't like. My brother just got married in Mexico.
Oh.
Why?
On the beach with like a horse.
I think so. Yeah.
I
didn't.
so.
In the end, I didn't go.
Well, no, it's a good excuse to go to Mexico, though.
It was. It was Corona, and my kids had school, and it just didn't work out.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of it, like Mexico. Yeah, I really want to go to Mexico.
Also, it's like from here to Mexico is a long way.
It actually is. It's a solid flight. I didn't realize until recently. I want to go to New York, which is not. That's not that long a flight, but it's like 700 euro return. I feel like the price indicates the length.
Right? Excuse me?
The price indicates the length.
Yeah.
I get really cheap prostitutes. They can't wear condoms.
There's just nothing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now it's all coming.
So anyway, menopause. Yes. So is Sabina completely through?
No, she still has like, and that was the other thing. Then the corona vaccines affect your period.
That is what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. So then she went to the doctor. The doctor was like, it's because it's a problem. Like, it doesn't just end overnight, which is what I thought happened.
No, it's quite a process.
So then all of a sudden, she didn't have her period for 3 months. So she's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Which was actually what started the bit because she thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was actually, I actually went to the pharmacy and the pharmacist was like, maybe your wife should go to the doctor. And I was like, we all know she's not pregnant. We just have to support this process.
Yeah. You got to check.
Yeah. I'm like, so it didn't work. And then all of a sudden her period reappeared. And then same thing happened to my daughter.
I like how you say that. It's like, hello.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I wanted to do a bit because with my daughter, like, men don't know how much blood is involved in menstruation. I did a bit of research. It's not, well, actually, since I started using a menstrual cup,
It's more than I thought.
Yeah, and like I saw my daughter going through the process of learning how to deal with it, cleaning up the process of my daughter, and I was like, wow, because by the time we meet women, you guys are like menstruation ninjas, you know, like
We really are good at it. It's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy how good we're at it. I'm so glad I don't use tampons anymore, but like the level of laissez-faire, I don't know, like I was so chill with tampons, you know, like I would leave them in for far too long.
I mean, that reassures me because I do. Sometimes think like, what would I be like a woman? And I'd be like, yeah, I'd be there for 3 days. I have no idea, but like,
You would be dead.
yeah, I know. The toxic shock's a problem.
Yeah, and it's real. Like, I like there was a TV show about these random chefs, and this guy's wife died of toxic shock. Like, I'd never heard of someone actually dying from toxic shock syndrome.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking brutal. But she used a tampon right after being pregnant, like right after having a kid, and it's like an open wound, so it's just.
It goes. Ugh.
But like, since I started using a menstrual cup, does your daughter mind if we talk about
No,
what?
I don't think she's totally open about it. She's
Okay, cool.
yeah, she uses the menstrual cup too. She goes back and forth.
Okay, sometimes she uses tampons.
Yeah, because she said sometimes you can't get the menstrual cup out. Like you got to get a finger up there to get some air behind it to get it out.
It's got like a little thing.
Yeah, but
though.
I think she said the suction. I don't want to
suction
go too deep into like.
The suction. Yeah, you gotta like release the suction.
Yeah, so I think she just doesn't feel like it. You know what she said? That's just it. If she's at school and she has the menstrual cup and she has to release the suction thing, it can turn into a mess. So it's better at school to use tampons and stuff. And then if it's like the weekend, then she can.
Yeah. And the period pants as well. You can just free bleed.
Yeah, she totally has those. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take for the world to make period fucking pants? Like.
That's why, like, when people complain about younger generations, like millennials, I think, like, no, there's some great things coming out of these subsequent generations. Are you a millennial, I guess?
I think technically I'm a millennial.
Yeah. So you guys did some great work, you know?
We really did. We have done good things.
I think so. Like, I didn't even know what social awkwardness, like what all that is. I just knew that I was terrified to be in public sometimes, or if the doorbell rings, I cannot answer the door. And I thought I was a freak. And then I found out, no, actually, that's normal.
It's so normal.
Yeah.
You're saying the millennials.
The millennials taught me that.
Taught that.
Plus avocado toast.
Oh, avocado toast. Yeah, that's like. I feel like that's an Australian thing, which it can't be, but it feels so Australian.
Could be.
It really, like, avocado and, like, feta, like, you know, with some cheese through it.
I think that's Austria, because you guys have a weird Greek thing in
Yeah, we got a weird Greek thing?
Yeah. Speaking of too much anal.
Yeah, we've got a massive Greek population.
Yeah.
We've got the biggest Greek population outside of Athens.
Probably, is it like America where there's actually more Greek people in Australia? Like there's more Irish people in Boston than all of Ireland.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I can't confirm. But I've worked for so many Greeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I'll give you the feta cheese on the avocado toast.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll give it to you. It's like the lemon culture, you know, using lemons, whereas like
And so period pants, that's another one for millennials. Give the millennials the period pants.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever. I am interested in talking about the menstrual cup though. How much blood is involved? So when I first did research in menstruation about the quantity, I was told the average was 30 mils in a week, but no.
Doesn't sound right.
I think it's more like, well, mine is probably more like 50 mils minimum. Because it's like the cup is like, you know, I didn't know this. The first cup that I ever bought had little lines on it. And I was like, oh, it'd be funny if they wrote the mils. And then the next cup I bought, it has the mils. So you can actually know exactly how many mils you're...
Yeah, but I could see... I don't know, but I could see somebody being like, oh, now I know where I am in my period because I'm up to 30 now.
Yeah, actually. It's like, I know the day. It's like, oh, that was a solid 15 mils. Like, this is my heavy day. And then, yeah, but I think across the whole period, I'd say it wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't say it's more than, like 50, maybe 60 mils.
But blood is like one of those things, I mean, it kind of gets everywhere. Even if it's not that much, it just gets everywhere. And I mean, of course it gets everywhere. You're trying to clean something up, you know, while you're trying to actually just have a normal day. So then, like...
I had this one night stand last night. Maybe it'll become something else. But my sheets and my bathroom this morning, it was just like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. No, the first time I had sex with a woman on period, you're like, did somebody get murdered? Holy cow.
Dude, my apartment, I was just like, oh, like the sink, there was like a red, like, you know, like there's like red hand marks here, and then on the bath next to the toilet, I was just like, Jesus. um but I've noticed I've got a trend though. I tend to pick up men when I'm menstruating.
Well, no, it's not a thing that you get horny when you're menstruating.
I guess, but like it's almost always like
That's also like that's a straight up test. Like this is
it
like
is.
yeah.
Like, and I've noticed as well. I think last night I didn't even mention my period, and then like, you know, sort of, yeah, like we were just having, yeah, we had sex, and then in the morning, then it was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm on my period. He didn't give a shit, but it's like so many of my one night stands, or like just when I meet someone, I'm menstruating.
I mean, it makes sense. Like that whole thing is the whole area is active at the moment.
Yeah, so
You
it's
know,
like
so it's kind of like
beep,
yeah.
beep.
Like,
Fill me.
Yeah. Let me get this out of the way, and then you can. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think it's bad form that I often don't say anything? Like I won't say anything until they're about to be inside me, or they're inside me. I'll be like, oh, by the way, I'm on my period. Like it's like you haven't made me bleed. Like
I think I don't want you to think too much that you're the one.
Yeah. You're not that big.
Yeah. You fit in a condom, but although no, I mean, I think it has to be said at some point.
I think it has to be said just so that they know that they haven't hurt me. Like that it's not.
It does. It looks like, and then if like on the mat you look down at your stuff, it looks like you've been stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that he thinks that something's wrong with his penis or
Yeah.
something like that. Even though he should be wearing a condom. But I think I've heard some men be like, oh my God, like to not say anything, like that's so disrespectful, or that's so, you know.
I mean, apparently you're saying it at some point.
At some point it comes up because it's like, oh, I'm not
By the way.
dying.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. I mean,
But like, as in like they say, like I've heard some men be like, no, like it's totally fair if a man doesn't want to have sex with you when you're menstruating, and you should give him the out. And I'm like, why should he ever not want to fuck me?
there's not a situation I can imagine where a man would not want to mount.
Mount.
Just came out of a week-long hike in the mountains. Still, get in there, buddy.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like is that? I just feel like I think my deep thing is like maybe I feel like I'm a bit of a man. It's just like there's no reason why you shouldn't have sex with, like, I can't understand why you wouldn't fuck a menstruating.
I mean, the first time I did it, it freaked me out. There was like a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But then I was also like, well, it's a naked lady, so let's go back in there.
And it's free lubricant.
That was gonna say, actually, I brought it up the whole time. I'm like, we have to bring up the fact that like you wait in there, you'd be like, wow, this woman is really.
She's so into it.
Yeah. It's like because it's really slippery then.
Yeah.
And then it dries and it gets kind of itchy.
It gets a bit, yeah.
But now you've got a reason to take a shower together.
Exactly. Oh, showers together though.
No.
No.
All right.
I don't know. But you're in like a long term thing, but
Yeah.
in your promiscuous days, would you shower with a new lover?
Yeah, I mean, like if we would go out clubbing all night and then you come home and then you start messing around, and you're like, okay, we both smell like we just went on a week-long mountain hike. How about we hop in the shower and then come back?
Yeah. That's cute. I don't know. I'm not good at sharing the shower. It's like, oh, all of a sudden it's this dynamic of like space sharing and like
when there are like some awkward things.
So many like, oh, can I get the soap and like and the water in your eyes, and then like, you know, I don't know, like if you've got like a bath shower, like you're trying to like, you know, move around. I need the water now. Like you got to share the water.
It can get cold. Yeah, I think that like you don't have to take a shower with each other, but you should sleep with each other. How about?
That's good.
I can see that being a thing of like. I'm a pro shower person. You're an anti shower. That's fine.
I'm just like an anti together shower.
Okay.
Like whenever a guy's like, let's have a shower together, I'm like, can we do it separate? Like I will actually, when he's like, can we? I'll be like, okay, let's see how this one goes. But it's usually there's just like, it's a good indication of how selfish a person is, I think, though, if they're like constantly hogging the water or.
So you're just testing guy nonstop, like you don't tell him about the period, then you're like, let's take a shower and see how you behave in the shower.
I never suggest the shower.
I know, I'm just saying, there's like 20 tests.
There's a lot of testing, I guess. But I'm not even, the thing is, like it's not a test when I don't talk about my period. It's really just like, I think like it's kind of like a male mentality even. It's just like, it's like
Yeah.
my body's my body. Like
This is your problem.
this is it's just how it is, right? Like
Yeah.
like there's no
I would honestly, if it was me, I would think, wow, she was so into having sex with me that she just didn't get around to telling me.
yeah, that's a good one.
So I would be like, that's fine. At least she told me now.
Yeah.
Like, now I know.
Yeah. I was just so excited to have sex with you that I forgot to mention
Yeah.
my period. I forgot.
I mean, if you could do this going down on you, would you be like, hey man, I don't know if you really want to?
Yeah, if he's about to go down and it hasn't been clarified, I'm like, I am bleeding. That's how I usually say it, by the way. I'm bleeding.
That's kind of that's a level of honesty that's kind of sexy. Like, it is kind of like, to me, I think like I'm bleeding. You're like, that's funny. That's good.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like that's exactly what I'm on my period. Like, no, I'm bleeding. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's blood down there. I have had guys who are really into eating me out when I'm bleeding.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I
Yeah.
don't.
You don't.
That's a red line for me. I think, as they say.
A red line.
I don't mind. Like, you can, if things are in place to protect, you can still go down there.
Oh, like a menstrual cup.
Yeah, you can still, because things are kind of generally okay then in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
I don't mind guys going down on me when I'm bleeding. But usually the guys that want to do it, they want the blood.
Yeah, that's weird. But I guess we all have our thing, huh?
Yeah, we do. One guy was even like, I hooked up with him one day and then one night and the morning, and then he was like, I'll come back after your shows. And I was like, okay, this guy's crazy. Oh yeah, and he was and then when I came back, I wasn't bleeding as much. And he was like, you're not bleeding as much. Like, he sounded disappointed by the lack of blood. And I was like, do you just want me for my menstrual blood? Like, is that your whole attraction? Yeah.
Dude, kinks are creepy, man. Kinks are weird.
Yeah, what kinks have you experienced or been exposed to?
No, that's the thing. Like, I've never, like, I mean, the one woman who always wanted to have sex in the front window, that was about it.
In the what?
In the window. Like, she wanted people to walk by and, like, accidentally see us. Which is funny.
Interesting.
Like, 15, when that was happening, well, 20 years ago when that was happening, that was fine. Now that's a sex crime.
Is it a sex crime?
In America, that's totally...
having sex in a window.
Yeah, because you're exposed. I mean, you don't know who's going to walk by.
You're exposing yourself.
Back then, it was kind of funny, and now it's like, okay, you're on the register.
Yeah, because you can be exposing yourself to children and stuff.
Yeah, but I've never had like a woman who's been like, I've never ran into serious, besides like light S&M.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not really.
No, that's just fun.
That's just part of sex, really.
But I've never. I mean, yeah. No, the only was the one woman who was like, "Go get your brother."
What?
Like,
go get your brother.
Because I lived with my brother in college, and so yeah.
Oh, that's
like,
amazing.
I was like, maybe no, I don't really need to see that.
No, I think sibling, like, I had a bit about threesomes with twins, an old bit, but maybe I could redo and make better. But about how, like, we think of twins and we're always like, threesome, and it's like, dude, like, if you're having sex with your sibling, like that's incest. It's incest.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to watch your sibling fuck?
I don't.
No.
I barely want to watch somebody else. I don't mind watching somebody else, a couple, watch them have their sex.
Oh, that's totally different.
I don't know that I really want to share my sex with, like,
family.
Yeah, well, definitely not with, that was it. I was just like, no, I don't want to go with my brother.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
I just, I don't get that at all. Like friends, it's different. Family, no. I understand this woman's perspective though, but I would never want to do it at the same time. But I have enjoyed brothers in the past.
There were, I mean, that happened.
Like, if you like one, you generally like the relatives.
Like you to meet my dad.
The dads, less.
Yeah.
Less, but still they can be a bit, like one of my exes had the thing is, my ex used to joke about me wanting to fuck his dad, and it was like, I'm not into it, but the more you talk about it, I'm starting to open my mind to it.
Ugh.
He was like warming me up to the idea of fucking his father. It was like, that's so weird.
You've definitely been exposed to more kinks than I have been exposed to.
I don't know. Like that's just him. Like my ex was a crazy, silly person. Like when he met Paul Salamoni, my ex, he just constantly talked about how he wanted to have sex with Paul, but he like wasn't gay.
I'm not gay. I just keep having sex with. I mean, okay.
Yeah. But in terms of kinks that I've actually witnessed, not really. Like, I don't think I've really had any. I've never been with someone with a foot fetish. Do you know Rami on the scene? He was on my podcast. He's openly foot fetish.
Footing.
Yeah, foot fetish.
I can get that. I was looking at some. I was looking at a model who's I know a woman who's a foot model, and I was looking at her pictures, and I was like, oh, I can kind of get that.
Wanting to fuck feet. No, you don't fuck. Like men don't fuck feet. Wanting to. It's not even rubbing their penis on them. It's just like
hanging
kissing.
out with the feet. Yeah. The problem is I don't like. There's a submissive element to it.
There is a submissive element,
which I don't. I just saw it as like, no, her feet look kind of nice. I can imagine. As a man, I'm happy to put my lips on almost any part of a woman. Yeah. Actually, there's not a part of a woman.
Right. So all of the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, but like getting off on it. Like, did you see the movie Pleasure?
No.
It just came out. Just came out. It's a movie about a Swedish girl woman who moves to LA to get into the porn industry, and it's really well done, and it shows the porn industry pretty well. But there's one bit where she's on set and she's with this guy, and the guy's like going soft, and he's like trying to get himself hard again, and he's like, can I just like kiss your feet? That's gonna and she's like, yeah, sure. And and it's like God,
every time I watch those pornos and those guys are jacking off, I always think I do not want to know what they're thinking about.
Oh, interesting.
I always think like I do not.
Yeah, like if you're a porn star, what is it that like all the things you've done, like what is it that gets you?
Probably the things you're not allowed to do. That's what I think.
I would say you're right.
Yeah.
And even we like don't. Do you masturbate thinking about things you're not allowed to do?
No, not really.
That was a very fast.
No, because actually it's a joke in our relationship that like there's certain things in my wife and I don't do as a couple. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do when I masturbate.
Oh yeah, that's the joke, but it's also the truth. Also the truth. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I had I keep mentioning bits that I had, but I had a bit about how I wanted to masturbate to fantasies that were like safe sex, so that like I would always have
sex. That's funny.
Yeah, well, because like if I need to be turned on by safe sex, so like, but
that's hilarious.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's really like, like you shouldn't, for example, you shouldn't masturbate thinking about your brother, because like, you don't want to. Yeah.
Are you admitting something here? I don't know. Okay. I was like, wow.
But it's like because you shouldn't do it in real life, or you wouldn't do it in real life.
Yeah.
And so like the same logic, it's like I shouldn't masturbate thinking about a condomless penis.
Right. A friend of mine once asked me, how can you sleep with the same woman for like 20 years? And it's like, the thing is, that becomes your sex. Like, that's what turns you on then after a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like that. If that is it. That's what it becomes. I think so that's the same thing. It's like training. Yeah.
It is training, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't have an issue with monogamy and fucking one person. I don't understand mentality of like, oh, but you get don't you want another penis or another? And it's like, no, because this one... There's like the whole relationship connected to the people.
Well, and it's right. Parts. It's right. You don't even have to you don't have to do all of that weird. Do I say hi? Do I smile? It's not. You just go, hey, you want to? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bam. 10 minutes later, you can go back to doing the dishes.
Exactly. And you can have you can be silly, and you can you can do silly shit.
Yeah,
you
totally.
can be more creative because you've got more time. You can also be lazy too, but I think you can be more experimental in a relationship. Yeah.
But so I love the bit about I have to masturbate to condoms, and then you can't get off because you're using a condom.
Yeah. Hold on. So as in.
So then you have the problem of why people say they don't use condoms.
Yeah.
It affects your masturbation then because you can't you put a condom on and that kind of turns me off. So now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's I need to. Yeah. Yeah, I need to start doing that again, actually. But the mind goes where it goes, and it's I try to train my masturbation fantasies to be for example, I try not to masturbate to people that have treated me badly.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Doesn't work. It's like some of my most enjoyable masturbation fantasies are about like really bad people that I've had sex with.
Yeah, but that's the problem where the cycles are always the best, man.
They really are. Or like, yeah, or like idiots. Like not idiots, but just like, you know, people that, just aren't a good fit for you in any way or behave badly. And
which is exactly why they're a good fit, because you don't care, they don't care.
Yeah.
Let's have sex in the window.
Yeah, in the window. Exhibitionist. Last night when I was at the club, I did this thing that when I'm a bit high, I had a little bit of a pill. I don't know. I sometimes buy drugs, and this drug dealer.
Really? In Berlin?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think what you'd actually say is like this week, but like, you know, like.
I am very moderate with what and I'm very like, I use very few drugs, and I enjoy a bit of ketamine sometimes, and my dealer has started giving me pills as like a sorry I was 15 minutes late, and I'm like,
what?
Okay,
I need that phone number. Jesus Christ, my guys are like, I'll be there in half an hour, and then an hour later you're like, where are you? Yeah, half an hour.
Yeah. This guy was, for this one, he was actually a bit more like, it just kept getting pushed, but it was on like a Friday night, very late. And I was like, I can get it tomorrow. I don't need the drugs now. And he was like, no, I'll be there in half. And I ended up staying at this bar super late so I could get, anyway.
So you get a pill.
I got these free two. He gives me two. So now I've got I had 4 pills at home. And I'm like, when am I going to? So last night, so the Tanzverbot, the ban on dancing lifted yesterday. Yeah. So I went out dancing. I was like, I'm going to take these pills out with me. And so I had a little nibble of this pill and a little bit of ketamine. And those pills make me really slutty. Like, I'm blaming the pill.
They make everybody slutty. I think that's like... God. Actually, I watched a woman pet a dog once while she was on ecstasy, and it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. My wife and I still talk about it. Like, it was just like, please stop petting the dog.
Yeah, it got really sexual, huh?
I mean, there was no bestiality involved, just the way she was petting the dog. Like, it was just like, you need to stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Like one hand a little bit too far down one part.
It was just the stroke. It was
the stroke.
Yeah, it was just, and you're like, we all know it feels great, but and the dog. So all right, so you got slutty, and then you hooked up with a dude.
Yeah, but the way I hooked up. Why am I bringing this up? Oh yeah, inappropriate exhibitionism. Yeah, I did the old like straddling the man on a like a lounge seat, making out, like straddling him. I don't think that's ever appropriate at a club, really. Like, it's too much. Like, you shouldn't be sitting with someone in a way that looks like you could be having sex if that's not okay.
In other Berlin clubs you would be having sex.
Yeah, like in some clubs, like that's how you should always sit, but not, this was more like a chill.
It's sort of but it's also like a celebration of like we can do, I mean, it is Bacchanalia, we can do what we want, and it's like quite exhibitionism of like you're going grocery shopping and suddenly there's people having, you're all in there in what is essentially a mating dance, mating ritual.
Yeah, it's true. It was a celebration.
That's how I see it. I don't think like...
It was a celebration, yeah. Because I'm like, oh, Anna, like the last time I straddled someone making out at a club was like 2016, and I remember, and it was with a boyfriend that I had at the time, and I did this, and like all my friends were watching, just like couldn't, like the next day they were like, it was really enjoyable what you guys were doing. Like, we just watched. I was like, what?
It was either watch you or watch that woman petting the dog. So
and yeah, there were 2 comedians at the club.
I wondered if you went out alone or with other...
I went out with 2 girlfriends, and we've all been really depressed with our male options. And the last few months we've all been really, really low. And 2 of us managed to pick up last night. It was like, we're like best wing women ever.
Meanwhile, the third one is off committing suicide.
The third one left, and but she was like, there's no one quality. Like, she's,
She has standards?
She has standards. Well, I made out with this one guy, and then he was like, I'm in an open relationship, and I was like, fuck off. Like, I don't want to I don't want to do that. Like, I just don't want to spend any time with someone that's not available, like I
Yeah.
might not want anything, but I don't want to. I feel like people in open relationships should only fuck other people that are in open relationships.
I've heard that actually. Yeah,
Leave
yeah.
the singles alone.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like, fuck off, fuck off. Stop wasting my fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I made out with this guy, and then open relation. I was like, and then like I think the little second nibble of my pill really kicked in, and I was back on the dance floor, lost all my friends, and then like met this 25-year-old Persian cutie.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was straddling him. Yeah,
I think that's fine. Plus,
yeah,
ecstasy is so nice.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. And it's funny. He was like, "Yeah, you were like, this morning." I was like, "I didn't do the what's your name because I'm smarter than that." Like,
This morning, you still don't know his name.
I do. I
Okay.
know. What you go like. He was like, "Oh, so should we like exchange numbers?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just pop in your contact." So I was like, that's his name. Yeah, but like I was sort of, and yeah, what I did ask before he left was, I was like, "Tell me your date of birth again, like just like what year were you born?" In the latter day, I was like, "Ooh, he does look young." And yeah, and he's like, "You really don't remember much." I was like, "Oh, I remember stuff." But yeah, he was like, "Yeah, you were really high. What did you take?" And I was like, "Oh, a little bit of this pill, a little bit of ketamine." And he's like, "Ketamine? That's crazy." I'm like, "You're 25. You don't know what crazy is." Like, ketamine's not crazy. Have you tried ketamine?
Yeah, it's like jet lag for me.
It's like jet lag.
Yeah, just like.
Oh, that's a good description. Although jet
Yeah.
lag's not fun.
No, it is. It's like, I mean, I get the fun part, but for me, it wasn't. It was just like, it felt like, whew, yeah. Like, how do I get through this?
Oh, interesting. High quantities, maybe. But...
Yeah, I mean, that could, like, it's not like, yeah, I took it like twice, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. All right. We should probably wrap this up. Do you have anything else you'd like to... is there anything we need to circle back to? Or is there anything...
No, we did pretty well on dotting our I's and crossing our
Yeah, I
T's.
think so.
Remarkably well.
Given how
Wait, like,
hungover we both are.
When did you get divorced? That's my question.
Oh, good. Thank you. I got divorced officially I got divorced. The divorce came through in 2019.
Wow, recently.
Yeah. I stayed married to him because I prepared all his visa paperwork and I wanted his visa to be used. So we remained married until he needed to reapply for a visa.
A German visa.
Australian.
Yeah, I was going to say that would make no sense.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I wanted him to use up all the visa that I worked hard for him to get, and then the divorce process took a little while. Yeah, and from Australia, and so yeah, it was in 2019 that it officially came through.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was technically married for 5 years, but we're only together for 2.
Jeez.
Yeah, we were together 9 months before we got married.
Yeah.
But he needed the visa, and we didn't want to move anywhere else, and we were in love. So I was like,
I mean, what do they say? Like, even arranged marriage, 50% of them are successful.
yeah,
So, pretty good chance.
yeah. Oh, he was a fucking narcissist, extreme, and like it was a very toxic relationship. So I think I'm still trying to figure out what I'm attracted to and why, and how it can go so wrong. I don't know. It should just be easy finding someone that's healthy for you, that's not going to damage you.
I think the problem is there's the person you meet, and then there's a person both of you become together. And that's the hard part. Like, that's the weird part.
It's the relationship
Yeah.
dynamic. Yeah. Because I think you can fall in love with anyone. It's like, this is a theory, like a loose theory. It's like, not anyone, but you can fall in love with anybody, but actually having a relationship is a very different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I went for women, I mean, the classic that were like my mother, insane.
That believed you were infertile.
Yeah. Oh my God. And so then at some point I just realized I was sick of that, man. I did not want to deal with that. Like, I mean, because I basically was my mother's, because she was divorced and we lived alone. So I was basically her partner for years. I was like, I do not want that. And then I met this woman who was very German sane.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know how they produce them here, but they seem to, it's like a factory somewhere.
Yeah, I think there is a factory somewhere.
Yeah.
I do love Germans. Your wife is an exceptionally good German.
Thank you.
Yeah. Drew, it has been such a pleasure. I've had so much fun.
Thanks. It was good. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
fun too. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Do you want to plug your stuff?
I have not. I don't know.
You got a TikTok account?
TikTok, Fat Andy's Industries on TikTok, and then if you go there, then you can find my dates where I'm performing, English and German. I occasionally do a true crime podcast. There's a German crime for that, but it's like I have so many things going on, I don't have time. Yeah.
Busy man.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Because I have to pay for 2 teenagers.
Yeah, that's impressive as well. Respect.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. That was so much fun. That has been Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.